Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a movie review. This movie is a crime/comedy from Japan, Japanese language English subs, released in the year 2019, directed by Takashi Miike, and this film is called First Love. So First Love is about a boxer. He is going through a bit of a rough period because he had a very surprising knockout loss. And so he goes to the doctor, and the doctor tells him he's got a tumour and that it's not looking good for him. And so he's down and out. And then on this particular evening, things are about to get worse when he comes across this woman who's in desperate need of protection. So someone's chasing her, he saves the day, and he ends up going with this woman to try and find out what she's all about. But what she's connected to is the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia, and also the Triads, the Chinese mafia. And so as the night spirals out of control, this boxer is going to have to try and put his life on the line if he is to save this woman. So he knows he's going to die, but he believes that he'll go to a better place if he can actually protect this woman. So whether or not he does is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on First Love. My biggest criticism of Takashi Miike is that he's an absolutely brilliant filmmaker. He's a legendary filmmaker and he definitely warrants that legendary status, but he's way too prolific for his own good. He makes way too many films. So it definitely would benefit him if he could actually wait a little bit before making his next movie, because the issue with being so prolific is that you're thick and fast. You're churning through so much that you're bound to have a lot of filler. And in this guy's career, there is a lot of filler. There are some absolutely, truly masterful films, but in between there's a lot of very forgettable ones. And so First Love, I wouldn't say it's forgettable by any means, but it has that generic Takashi Miike. If you are familiar with Takashi Miike, you know he's absolutely insane. And insanity is definitely something that comes to life in a very vivid and cartoonish way in First Love. It's an incredibly entertaining film, and for that I will say it's definitely recommended, but it just falls into the Takashi Miike generic sort of stereotype, in that you've got larger than life characters, situations that spiral way out of control, and cartoonish, outlandish violence. And so First Love, if you go into it expecting that kind of experience, then you're definitely going to get something out of this. I thought as though the overall cinematography is excellent. It captures the underbelly of Japanese crime and also that of foreign crime, such as the Triads. And you've got a whole web of comedy of errors that basically have consequences that just magnify the situation. Very similar to that of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels from Guy Ritchie. Now, it's a completely different film, but it's the same sort of thing. Each action has a consequence that just evolves the story and snowballs the story. So it's a lot of fun. Continuity is at a very fast neck pace, so you never get bored, and you're just marveling at the sheer chaos that Takashi Miike has to produce in First Love. But as I said, the issue I have with this movie is that it is very generic as far as Takashi Miike's style is concerned. It doesn't really produce anything that's terribly new, and it doesn't really produce anything that's terribly lastful in the memory, in that you're having a lot of fun watching it. There are some set pieces that are really well done, but unfortunately I've kept feeling to myself, I've seen this sort of thing before. And that's due to the fact that he's so prolific, he's churning out way too much stuff that it does get lost. And so every now and then you get a Takashi Miike film that will completely blow you away, but every now and then, yeah, you do get that generic film. And unfortunately, although First Love is one of his better sort of generic forgettable films, it's still ultimately a movie that is not going to really propel Takashi Miike back to the heights that he was when he made films such as Ichi the Killer or Audition. Those movies that really set his name alight. First Love, although it is definitely worth the time and effort, is certainly not going to put Takashi Miike's name back out there as far as leading the way in Asian cinema. So there are some really good moments. As I said, it's a very entertaining film, but unfortunately it just falls into the generic category of films that you have seen before from this director, which prevents it from being an outstanding Takashi Miike film. So if you like your gangster movies from Asia and you like Takashi Miike, go out there and see First Love. I'm going to give this one 3 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.